Hey everyone, this is a tutorial video for how to build the compound of 5 tetrahedra. The first things you're going to need are 20 of these subunits here. The way you make those is you start off with 6 stacked rings of 16, and you can flatten them out and cut them up into long straight pieces, attach them together at the corners, bend them around, bend them up, and using a chain you can take these middle 3 magnets out, so you end up with that. And then you can kind of slide one of these legs so that it does that, and then you can bend this whole thing down until the top splits away like that. Remove those 3 magnets, add a hexagon down on top, and then add a triangle down on top of that. Then the 3 edges are uneven. There's a short one, a medium one, and a long one. On the short leg you want to add 2 magnets, and on the long leg you want to remove 2. So they are all 3 even now, and they all look like that. The other thing you're going to need is a stack of 11 rings of 6 magnets. And so then on one end you want to pinch that down into a triangle, and that will go in here. And one polarity it will stick in and you can kind of take it back out, but I think I got the right polarity the first time. The other polarity will stick in really well, and that's the one you want. And anyways, that's how you make these, and you need 20 of them. You're also going to need 60 stacked rings of 20, but I'm going to set those aside because you don't need those till later. You're also going to need a stack of 10. I'm not exactly sure how many. I think it's 12, but I have like 15 or 16 here just to be safe. I'll adjust it when I get to that part. You're also going to need 40 rings of 6 and 36 rings of 5. And then finally 20 little triangles like this. And then also what you're going to need, besides magnets, is at one point you're going to want a small little coin that's thin, like this is a dime here. It's kind of hard to see because of the lighting, but it's just a dime. You're going to need one of those. You're going to need a paper tube like this, and this is just a piece of paper. It's about as long as a card, which I can't get off the table, about the same length as a card, and it's curled up to the right width that if you take the edge of a long straight piece it will just barely fit in. It slides around, but it can't really move around inside at all. So you need one of these, and then you need a pen or something like that that can push through there. So you also need all those for later. So now to start assembling this thing, the first thing you want to build is a shape that will be the core, but you can't actually use the core that I always have used in other shapes. So I am going to use one here that someone else figured out. DSkiles222 came up with this, and it looks really similar to the one that I always use, but it works better in this situation. And the way that you make this is you start out by cutting up 24 pentagon rings. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so the first thing you want to do with these 24 pentagons is use 12 of them to build a C60 sphere. And you do that by attaching 2 together, and then a third one like that. And you keep going around like this until you have a ball. So you end up with a small sphere like this. Then what you want to do is take the other 12 and put one down so it links in to each of the pentagons that you use to make the sphere, like that. So go ahead and do that. So you end up with this shape. And now you need to take your 40 rings of 6 and cut them up into 20 double stacks. Okay, so you have those, and the way they attach down is one of them goes in between 3 of these pentagon stacks, just like that. So you go ahead and do that. You can add another one there like that, and you keep going around like that until you've covered the whole ball. Okay, and once you've covered the whole ball, you want to go ahead and remove the top hexagon off of each of those double stacks, because those were just there to keep it stable while you were attaching them. And so you end up with this shape that looks a lot like my core, but the internal structure is a little bit different. And for this shape, it helps it hold together a lot better. So the next thing you want to do is take 12 pentagons and go ahead and cut them up. And then you want to take them and add them across on these spots here, like that. And if you add 3 of them down, you'll see that you get these triangles that are forming. So that's how you know if you're putting them down in the right alignment, is if you see triangles. So go ahead and do that to all 12 spots. And you are here. And now you see, you probably can recognize this is looking a lot like the core that I've used. But if you try and bend it, this one's a lot more rigid. And I actually like this one actually quite a bit better. The next thing you want to do is take the 20 of these, and each one will go down on top of one triangle, just like that. And you want to do that to all 20 triangles across this shape. And so you end up with a ball that looks like this. And this is the kind of internal base of this shape. This is what all of these will attach to. So now that you have this, you can start attaching these. But this is also where these stacks of 20 are going to come back into the picture. You need to flatten them out and cut up some long straight pieces. For now, I'm only going to need 6. Okay, and so the way you attach these is that the hexagons here will go down on top of one of these triangles, just like that. And it's not a very strong connection, so you want to be careful. It helps once each tetrahedron is complete, because it'll really just hold itself in place. But until you get to that point, it is a bit fragile. And you'll notice there are 2 ways to put this down. And depending on which way you put it down, that will affect the kind of the chirality, the right or left-handedness of this shape. So I'm going to go ahead and do a right-handed one. So when you set this down, you want to make sure that the edge, when you're looking at it, when you set it down, is going to the right of this pentagon here, see? Because you could also attach it to where it's going to the left. But for this shape, you want all of them to attach to where these legs go to the right of a pentagon. So now you have that, and you turn it upside down and you look at this one, which is the triangle on the exact opposite side. And the place where you want to attach the next one is not here or here, but one of these two. And which one you want to do depends on which, I guess, the handedness. In this case, it will be that one. And it will attach down just like that. And you'll see that these don't point exactly at each other. It's close, but it's not perfect. But it's close enough. And so what you do is, at this point you kind of have to be really careful with it, but you take this and you attach these together by bringing the points to the sides and kind of doing the standard way that I attach edge things together. And like I said, you got to be careful because they do have a tendency to kind of just fall over like that. And then you can attach the second edge there like that. And now I'm going to do that with a third one. Do it there. And so then attach the connecting pieces. Okay, and now that you have 3 complete, you can set it down on those. And then you can add a 4th one on top here. And then join them together. Okay, so this is the first tetrahedron and it's finished. And once you have it complete, it's much stronger. It doesn't like to fall off once you have all 4 corners and they're all attached together. But until you get it complete, it is very fragile. So now the next thing you want to do is put a temporary support on the bottom. So I guess I'll have this be the bottom. And you can see there's this one triangle here that's in the very center of this big triangular face. And what you want to do is you want to take 2 more of these small 3x2 triangles, and you want to put one down on top of it so that it interlinks in, just like that. And then you want to put another one on top of that, so you get that. And this is where the thin coin, the dime in this case that I mentioned, goes in, because this isn't quite long enough, so you'll want it to sit on the dime while you're working with it. And so you just have it sit down like that, and you are ready to start adding more stuff. And that's the easy part done. Now this is where it gets tougher. So the next thing you need to do is on each one of these faces, the kind of the arrangement of triangles on each face is going to be the same. So the first one you want to do is this one here that's kind of in the corner to the right of the spoke. And when you attach that down, it will go like that. And you want to go ahead and do that for all 3 faces of it. So you get that. Now the next thing that you want to do is you want to attach some of these things onto it. And this is, hold on, let me see, actually. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so what you want to do next is attach these onto it. And these go, let me see if I can remember this correctly. It's a little bit tricky to remember exactly where each one goes. But yeah, these ones will go, they'll attach down on the middle triangle that's in the very middle of each of the big faces of the complete tetrahedron. And this one fell over, so let me fix it real quick. Okay, so Before you go attaching these down, though, you need to put one of these intermediate pieces attaching to that spot right there. So the way that you do that is you get one, and you want to remove one magnet from there, just like that. And then you want to add that magnet onto this one over here. Just like that. And so they're very unstable out here at the ends now. But when you bring them together, you don't have to mess with them. They'll just snap right together. So the way that you get them to attach, and that's where this paper tube comes in, is you can kind of thread this paper tube through the shape until it fits over the end there. Then you can go ahead and place this in the tube on the other end, just like that. And then you can take this pen or whatever and push it down the tube till you hear it click. Then when you take it off, you'll have a nice long edge like that. So you want to actually go ahead and do that to all three of these. Okay, and so now you're here. And now you can take three more of these and attach them on the center triangle in each face. And if you've done this right, then when you attach it, these should click together nice and easy, just like that. So go ahead and do that to all three sides. Okay, so now you're here. The next thing you want to do is you want to attach three of these to, on each face, this triangle here, which is just to the left of these ones that you just attached on. So there, and then there, and there. And actually these three are all going to connect to each other with these. So I'm going to go ahead and start this off. Okay, that's the first one. And it can be a bit tricky to get these ones to go down onto the base without sticking to other stuff. But once you have one down, you're going to want to attach some of the long pieces here onto it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and put another one down here. Okay, and now you want to attach long pieces to both of these spots here and here. And then finally you want to attach the last one of these. Okay, and it looks like everything is attached correctly. This is as many corners as you can put on before you flip the thing over. But before you do flip the thing over, you want to add on more edge pieces here. So give me a second, I'm going to cut some up. Okay, so the first ones that need to go on before you flip it are these ones here. And you can see that they end there on all three kind of sides here. So go ahead and attach all three of those on. Okay, so that's all three of those. Then let's see what else. I think, I think that's actually all of them before you need to flip it over. So now what you need to do is take this stack of rings of 10, and it's going to go down through the middle of one of these and attach to the ring of 10 down here on the base. And it'll be hard to see, but you want it to interlink in with that ring, just like that. And I definitely made this too long, so let me just grab something real quick. Had to grab a mirror. And you can use this as just a flat surface to measure and see how long the support needs to be. Okay, that's perfect. And I think that's 11. So just keep that in mind when you're building it. So now you can carefully go ahead and flip it over onto this. And this is what you're left with. So now the first thing you want to do is you want to go ahead and complete the tetrahedron that already has 3 of its pieces done. I guess you need to take this base off as well because you don't need it anymore. So that will mean you only need 1 of these, and it's going to go right here. But first you need to attach edge pieces onto all 3 of those tetrahedra, or those corner pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, and so now that you have all 3 of these edge pieces added on, you can go ahead and add this on. There, and now you have 2 tetrahedra that are complete. So now you want to move on and try and add some long edge pieces onto things down here at the bottom that are sticking up. And there's a few, like there's 2 there, and then a third one there on each of, or at least on that side there is, but there should be more. There's another one there. I guess this side is more or less complete, but there's 1 there and 3 on this side, and they're on the bottom and they're pointing up. So go ahead and attach those. Okay, and that's it for the ones on the bottom, but there are definitely a few more short ends that you can go ahead and attach edge pieces to. So go ahead and do that. Okay, and that should be good for now. And so now I think the best thing to do is you have 2 complete tetrahedra, and the other 3 each only have 2 corners done. So I think the best thing to do is to complete them one at a time. So let's see, which one can I pick? This corner here, and then this corner down here at the bottom. So that will mean that the next triangle that I want to do is this one right here. So I'm going to go ahead and attach it. Okay, and now that you have a triangle complete out of this corner, and that one down there, you can, let's see, you need to add 1 more edge piece before you can put the last point on. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, and now you can add on a point right there. Okay, so that is a 3rd tetrahedron that's complete. So now we can move on, I guess, to another one. Let's say this one down here, which you can't really see when I'm pointing at it, and this one right here. So that would mean that, or no, hold on. That one and this one, sorry. So that would mean that with these 2, the next one would go right here. So they both have long edges on, so you can go ahead and put the first corner down. Okay, and now that that's on, it looks like this corner and this corner both need to have long edges attached to them. So go ahead and do that. Okay, and then you can go ahead and attach one of these down and attach it to those three corners so it will go right there. Okay, and that's the fourth tetrahedron complete. And now for the last one, it'll be this corner and I think this corner here. Yeah, that's the right one. So you'll need to put one point right in there. So, and I don't think, yeah, there's no long edges that you need to attach first. You can go ahead and just attach this on. Okay, and then you need to attach a long edge to this one. And you're down to your last point. All you need to do now is put it on. And there you go. That is how you build the compound of 5 tetrahedra. And you may want to straighten a couple edges here and there. Make sure that, you know, as little stuff is sticking to itself as possible. You're not going to be able to get all the edges perfectly straight just because there's so little room for them to go through. But all in all, I think this is about as good as you're going to be able to get for this shape. Anyways, that is what it looks like, and that's how you build it. And it's actually pretty sturdy once you've finished it. It's really fragile up until right near the end. But then I guess all of the, you know, kind of the small interactions between pieces actually hold it together pretty sturdily. And so there's the bottom there. And that is how you build it. So I guess I will smash it now.